Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad to be back today. Same here, Master Tech Automotive, Kundan Kumar. Hello everyone. Hello, Meena Deshpande. Hello, Ritesh Kumar. Hello, Klo. Hello, Crypto. Hello to you, bro. Good evening, all of you. Good evening, everyone. Okay, Dumal says I'm just unable to watch every day's live session, but I'm watching all the videos and practicing. Do I get a certificate? Yes, brother. I'll give you the Google form. Just so glad to have you all here today. Same here. So yeah. Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to this 18-day series of Python Bootcamp of this month. So this is Piyush Kumar. Let's get started, okay, with our topic. Today is the day where we are going to continue the object-oriented programming. So in day 10, we learn how to create classes, object, constructors, attributes, and methods. So we have learned, now we know how to create a class, object, okay, constructors, everything. So now today we will explore the advanced OOPS concept, okay, that make Python programs more reusable, secure, and maintainable. Okay, so let's start with our first topic, that is inheritance. So glad. Good evening, everyone. I want to master data science because I want to apply for Masters of Science in Data Science. Bachelor of Information Technology. I guess Bachelor of Information Technology you are doing. You want to apply for data science. Yes, brother. You can do it. And UP58. Hello, sir. Hello, brother. So let's talk about now, guys, inheritance. Okay. What is inheritance? Okay, so first of all, inheritance is a topic, it is a feature of OOPS, object oriented programming. So whatever the programming language is who supports object oriented programming, so it is a feature of OOPS. Okay, it's not a feature of Python, it's not a feature of any specific programming language, it is a feature of OOPS programming language. Means the languages which supports OOPS, they will have inheritance. But inheritance is little bit means in other programming languages means some of the inheritance has present, some of them are not present, okay, but in Python all the types of inheritance are present. So today we'll start with inheritance and we'll see each and every features of OOPS, what are the features, why we use them, how to use them, everything, each and every topic in full detail. So stay tuned, let's start. So guys, inheritance is basically uh, okay, in real life let's talk about the word inherent, okay, and then we'll talk about in programming. So see guys, in real life also, uh, we inherit many things from our parents, from our grandparents, from our great grandparents, okay. So there are few similarities, maybe our hobbies, maybe our looks, maybe uh, thinking style, maybe the way of speaking. So we, because genes are same, okay, and genes are coming from great grandfathers, and then it's coming, okay, to us. So because of that, we also inherit few things from our parents, from our grandparents, okay. Imagine your grandparents build a house, okay. Now that house come belongs to your parents. Now after your parents, that house will belong to you, okay, whether you are living or not, but that house will belong to you. So what is that house? That house is a property, it is a thing that is inherited into generations, okay, so that is consumed by all the generations. So in the same way, in programming also there is inheritance, okay. So inheritance is the process by which one class acquires the properties and the methods of another class. It's just like that. Okay. Means there will be, suppose, two or three classes. Okay. So the third class may inherit few properties from class 1 and few properties from class 2. Okay. This is one thing which is possible in classes. Okay. In class and object, this is possible that we can borrow or we can use the properties or the methods of another class, and that is called as inheritance. Okay, this is only inheritance. And how to do that, we'll see that. Okay, so if you guys want, so I will write the definition also, okay, because many people demand. So let's fulfill the demand and let's just write the definition. So inheritance basically uh, is the process by which one class acquires the properties and methods of another class. Okay, so this is inheritance. And one more thing, the example which I told you about the house, okay, the house was built by your great grandparents, and then it belongs to your parents now. Then after your parents, it will belongs to you. So let's suppose the house which belongs to your parent now, let's suppose now it belongs to your parents, so that will come to you. Okay, so the house now belongs to whom? Your parents. So in same way, in programming also, the the methods, the properties which belongs to a class, and we inherit that from the class. Okay, let's say we are the second class and we trying to import or we trying to acquire something from the first class. So the first class, okay, the class being inherited from is called the parent class or the base class. Okay, and the class that inherits is called the child or derived class. Okay, so whenever we'll talk about parent or base or child or derived, so please understand that when I'm saying child or derived class, so it means that I'm trying to say that this class is inheriting from the parent class. Okay, and when I'm saying parent or base class, so understand that I'm telling that this class is being inherited. Okay, so that also I'll write it. Okay, that thing also I'll write it so that it will be clear to everyone what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let me just write it that the class being inherited from is called the parent class, or let me just be more specific, it is also called as the base class. So parent or base class. Okay, and the class that inherits, okay, the class that inherits is called the child, and child or child or derived class. Okay, so this is one programming concept which everyone should know, that the class being inherited from is called the parent or the base class, and the class that inherits is called the child or the derived class. Okay, just like if I have to give an example. Okay, so I can have a animal class. So animal is a very big, okay, animal is a very broad concept. Now in this animal class, what can be the things? Okay, now there could be uh, there could be dog. Now in animals only, dog is also there. In animals only, cat is also there. So all these are animals. Okay, and lion is also an animal only. So dog, cat, lion, they all comes in the animal class. So here, what is animal? Animal is the parent class. And what is dog, cat, lion? These are the child and the derived class. Okay, so all animals can eat and sleep. Okay, so these behaviors are defined once in the animal class. Okay, and inherited by the child class. But there is one more important thing, that is, these dog, cat, and lion, these all classes, means these all child classes, can have their own properties also. Means it's like that they can inherit from animal class, like the properties which I said, like eat and sleep. All the animals eat and they sleep also. So dog also eat and sleep, cat also eat and sleep, and lion also eat and sleep. So this is a common thing in animals. So this common behavior, I can put it in the animal class. And then I can, for dog, cat, and lion class, I can acquire those properties, eat and sleep, from the animal class. But dog, cat, and lion, they are not same, no? Their categories are different. Okay, so they can also have their own properties also. It's not like that the child class will take everything from the parent class. No, absolutely not. It can take from the parent class, as well as it can have something of its own also. Okay, so it can have properties and methods of its own too. Okay, so like that, dog is what? Dog is a class which is what? Which is a uh, we can keep dog as a pet, cat also as a pet, but can we keep lion as a pet? No. So these two are homeable animals, but this is a wildlife animal. Okay, it belongs to the wild, it belongs to the forest, because it's dangerous. Okay, so that is the thing here. Okay, so dog, cat, and lion can have their own properties and take inherit from animal class also. Okay, only this is there. This is inheritance, that you just inherit from the parent class, or the grandparents class, or the more above class. Okay, and there are different types of inheritance present. We'll talk about each one of them, so no need to worry. We'll see and we'll talk about one by one about every concept. Okay, then the next thing is why to use inheritance. Okay, why use inheritance? Okay, so first of all, code reusability, it allows us to reuse the code. Okay, when you are using class and object, instead of writing the same code in all the different classes, you can just simply inherit that class in which you have already created the same function or method or attribute, and just simply use it. So code reusability is there, and less duplicate. Because of the reusability, we'll not be need to write the code again and again, so less duplication will be there. Maintenance will be easy. Okay, because writing a new line of code whenever you work on a project or you work for a client, so what happens now, there are several factors. Based on that, the price of that project is fixed, that how many source line of codes you wrote, how many, and there are other maintenance factor, and there are different other factors. Okay, so there is one factor, how many source line of codes you wrote. Okay, now if you'll not perform reusability, so what will happen? You have to, again, you'll do the same copy paste, and you'll say that you have written the codes, so your price will, means that is not the right way, no? So because of that, easier maintenance is also there, and better organization. Using inheritance, you organize the code in more readable format, in more look wise, it looks more innovative, more kind of more attractive. Okay, so that is there, that it organization of the code becomes very readable, very easy, very flowing. Okay, so that is there. Now let's talk about the syntax of how to inherit it. Okay, how to inherit a class. Okay, how to inherit one class to another class. What is the syntax for that? Okay, so let's just do what? Let me just first create one class, and I'll name my class as parent. Okay, and I'll keep this class as empty because for now I don't have anything. Now I'll create one more class, and I'll name it as child. Okay, and I'll keep this class also empty. Okay, now I have to inherit this parent class in my child class. So how I'll be able to do that? So for that, there is a very simple way. You have to use the round braces and you have to write parent. Okay, so you have to use the round braces and you have to write the name of the class which you want to inherit in your class. So parent is the class name which I want to inherit in my child class. So I just wrote parent here. And now I'll be able to use this all the properties which are present in this parent class. Okay. So this was the syntax. Now we'll see examples so it will be more clear for us. Okay. So let's take an example. So I'll take the same example. Okay. The animal dog cat example. Okay. And today we are going to take many examples, so don't need to worry. So class animal, okay. Then I'll say def, and let's create a function, okay. So eat and sleep are the methods which every animal does it, okay. Humans also do it. Humans are animal only. Am I right? Humans are also a kind of species only, so they also come in animal category, okay. So def eat animal is eating, okay. So this is the animal class, and inside the animal class there is a method which is eat. The method is eat, okay. Now I have one more class called as dog, and dog also eats. So what I'll do, I'll just inherit the animal class, because if I already have a method which is there in the animal class, and actually it is same because dog is also animal and dogs also eat, so I can just use this method animal is eating to print animal is printing. What is the issue? No issue. So I can directly use it. So what I'll do, because I have to use this method, I don't need to put any means for now my dog class has nothing of its own. It will only take from the animal class. So I have successfully inherited the animal class in my dog class. Okay. Now it's time for creating the object. So which class object will be created? Now understand. If I'll create the object of animal class, okay, so I can use the eat. Okay, I can use the eat. But can my dog class eat? No. So whose object I will create? I will create the object of the dog class. Why? Because when I'll create the object of the dog class, so I can do what? I can use the eat also, which is a method of the animal class, because I'm inheriting the animal class in dog class, and I can use something of my own class also. Means for now there is nothing, but if there will be something, I can use that also. So I have to create the dog class object. So I'll create like this. Okay. And now using the object, I'll call the method eat. I'll execute it and you will see I'm getting animal is eating. Okay. So this is how you simply do inheritance. Okay. There is one class, there is a method present in the parent class. In that parent class, there is the dog class, which is a child class. In this child class, I just inherited my parent class. Okay. For now, my child class has nothing of its own, but I created the object, and using the object of the dog class, you can see I'm creating the object of the dog class. I can use this animal method. Okay. I can use this method. But what if I'll not write this and then I'll try it? Then you will see you will get an attribute error that dog object has no attribute eat, because you have not inherited it. So you need to inherit it. Now when you'll inherit it, you will get the output. Okay. So this is the very simple example anyone can take, anyone can use to just um, execute the first program for inheritance. Okay. Uh, when are you going to start? Already started. Already started. You guys, uh, inheritance is the process of copying or using properties of another classes or modules. Not modules, but yeah, of another classes. Yes, correct. Not copying, but you can use the word using, you can use the word acquire. Okay, inherit, you can use. Okay, not copying. Coding says hello, hello, brother. Okay, master says super. Yeah, super is one of the methods we'll see later on. Okay. 6:48 p.m. When will class start? Class has already started. Coding says, sir, please can you retake this example? Should retake this example means should I explain it one more time? Okay, I came late, so please, yeah, sure, brother. See, uh, this is a example for showing the simple inheritance. Okay, inheritance is what? Inheritance is the process by which one class acquires the property and methods of another class. Okay, it means that one class can use the properties and the methods of another class, and that is called as inheritance. The process is called as inheritance. It's just that simple. And the class being inherited from is called the parent class, or also known as the base class. And the class which inherits means which uses the properties and methods of another class, that is called as the child or the derived class. Okay, now um, about this is the syntax. Okay, that suppose you have a class parent and you have a class child. Now this child will inherit this parent class. So how it will inherit? Like this. Okay, you have to use the round braces. Inside the round braces you have to write parent. Okay, so it will be inherited. Now this is the example. Suppose you have an animal class. Now all animals do what? In animals there is one thing, means few things are common. All the animals eat and sleep. Okay, so for that I have created a eat method inside my animal class. Okay, and then I've created a dog class. Now dogs also eat. So what I am doing here, instead of creating my own eat method for my dog class, what I'm doing, I'm using this animal class. Okay, so I'm inheriting this animal class like this. Okay, and then I'm creating the object of the dog class and I'm using this method. Okay, using the object of the dog class, and I'm able to do that. Why? Because I'm inheriting animal, and inheritance is inheriting the properties of the parent class or one class to the another class. So I'm able to do that. So this is, till now we have seen this much only. Okay, sir, can you retake this example? Yes, brother, I have again told you. Okay, so yeah, that is there. So let's do what? If you again not understood, let me just give you one more example, one more good example. Okay, so then it will be more easy. Okay, so let's do what? Let's take one more example. Let's say now I'll create a class called as class person. Okay, now in this class will take some parameters also. Okay, so let's take init. Let's use a constructor, and it will take a name as a parameter, and self dot name, I'll do self dot name equals to name. Okay, and then I'll create one method of this class. Okay, so this method will be unique to this. Okay, and I'll take a self. Okay, introduce, and in this method I'm going to introduce myself. So not myself, for whomsoever it is created. So I'll say my name is okay, self dot name, self dot name. Okay, let me just give a space here. Self dot name, that's it. Okay, then I'll create one more class. Okay, now this class will be specific to a category. Okay, and that category is, let's say, student. Okay, that category is a student. But tell me one thing, a student will also have a name. Okay, whether it is an employee will also have a name. Whether it is a person who is doing some other kind of work. Okay, businessman is also first of all a person only, no? So whether it is a student, employee, or a businessman, or a different kind of person, but first it is a person. Okay, so it will have a name. Person, any person has a name. Okay, so we'll do what? We'll take person. Okay, take person. And what is the role of a student? Tell me, everyone, tell me, what is the role of a student? A student studies. So let's create a own method of the student class, that is study. And I'll say that self dot, or I can use the f string, directly use the f string, self dot name. Okay, and I have to put self dot name inside the curly braces. Self dot name is studying. Okay, so this is one method of the student class. Okay, that is unique to the student class only. Okay, And because I have inherited the function the class person in the student class, so I'll be able to use this introduce also. Now how I will do that, let's see that. Okay, so I'll create a, first of all, a object of my student class. So let's just create it like this. Okay, and I'll give a name. So let me give Rohit. Okay, I'll give Rohit. And now using this student object, I'll be able to call the introduce method also, and using this same student, I'll be able to call the study method also. Okay, and both outputs I'll get, my name is Rohit, Rohit is studying. It means what? It means that the class which is inheriting the property from the this class, means the student class which is inheriting the properties from the person class, is able to use the method of the person class, and is, of course, it will be using its own method also, but it is able to use this method also which is introduced. Okay, so that is the meaning of inheritance. Okay, that if one class inherits another class, so it will be able to use its properties and methods in its own. Okay, so no need to create. Now if I would, if you means if would I would means I would have created a function especially for the student class also, no. But if there is already a method present in person class, so why to write a extra line of code? So instead of that, I can reuse it. How I can reuse it? So I have to just add these four, uh, how many characters? Few characters extra. Means I have to just inherit. And just by inheriting that person class, I'm able to use this introduce. And of course, I'll be using this study also. So this is how inheritance makes coding code reusable. Okay. And by this, you can see it's looking also nice. Or I have to add more lines. So instead of adding more lines, I just inherited it. So, okay. So this is the feature of inheritance, and this is how you do inheritance. Okay. Now inheritance has many types. So let's talk about the types of inheritance which is present in Python, and one by one we'll see each one of them. Okay. So one by one we'll see each one of them. So, and we'll talk about it, how they looks like and everything. Okay. In detail, in detail. So let's just do that. So now, uh, types of inheritance. Okay, so in types of inheritance, there is first of all single inheritance. So till now, what we have seen till now, these two examples which we have seen, it is an example of a single inheritance. Okay, it is an example of a single inheritance. This example is also of a single inheritance only. Okay, okay. Now let me tell you what is single inheritance. Sir, please can you retake the example, sir? Okay, thanks, sir. Clear now. Okay. Should it be dog is eating? Okay, you're talking about this, I guess. Animal is eating instead of it should be dog be is eating. Yeah, I can do that. Dog is eating. But then if I'll use this eat method here to convert it, so it will be called as method overriding, which you will see in the polymorphism. When I'll talk about the feature polymorphism, so we'll see that. Okay. But for now, we cannot do that. If we have to do it, then you have to create a method here. Then you have to override this eat method here. Okay. So we'll see that. We'll see that. Just wait for a few minutes. After that, we'll come to the polymorphism also. So just stay. So single inheritance means what? Single inheritance means that simple. One class will inherit the another class. Okay. Like B will be inheriting A. Like here, a student is inheriting person. Like dog is inheriting animal. Okay. So this is single inheritance. Okay. If I have to give an example, I can give a very small and simple example, and you have already seen two examples, so it will be easy for you. Okay, so like there is class A, then you created a class B, and that class B is inheriting class A. Okay, so this is an example of single inheritance. Okay, where A is the parent class and B is the child class. B is inheriting A. Okay, this is single inheritance. And these two examples will best suit the single inheritance. Okay, these two example will best suit the single inheritance. Then second type of inheritance which is possible in Python is multiple inheritance. Okay, what is multiple inheritance? Multiple inheritance means if suppose you have two class A and B. Okay, suppose you have two class. Okay, so these two class, and there is one more class, that is class C. Okay, there is one more class, that is class C. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that C is the class which can inherit from both the classes. It can inherit from A also, it can inherit from B also. Yes, multiple inheritance means that the third class will be able to inherit from the first class and the second class. Okay, let's say you have father, you have mother. Okay, so from father you have inherited skills. Okay, like driving skills. From mother you have inherited let's say cooking or painting. Okay, or speaking, talking, these skills. Okay, so and you are the child, so you can inherit from father also, from child also. It's not necessary that you will inherit from father only, or you will inherit from mother only. No, you can inherit from both. Okay, so let me just show you an example of that, so it will be more clear to you. So I'll take the same example. Okay, like you have class father. Okay, now in this father have um, unique what, he have skills. Which skill? He have driving skills. Okay, so you will write driving here. Okay, then you have class mother. Now your mother have some hobby. So your mother hobbies are, let's say painting. Okay, for let's say painting. Okay, so now there is one more class called as child, and now this child can inherit from both. So how it can inherit from both? So you have to write like this: father, comma, mother. Okay, like this: father, comma, mother, and pass. Okay, now you can pass, or this child class can have its, means it's not like that. No, that it will inherit from father and mother only. It can have something of its own also. So you can create a method of which will be unique to child. Otherwise, just keep pass and create a child object for the child class. Okay, and using the child object you can now call the skills and call the hobby, both. And when you'll execute, you'll see you got driving, you got painting also. So this is how you will inherit from both. And when you inherit from two classes, so that is called as multiple inheritance. Okay, so when the definition is when one class inherits from multiple classes, so that is called as multiple inheritance. And not only two classes, the C class can inherit from one more class. Okay, so let's say you have a grandparent also, so you can inherit from the grandparent. Okay, so you have to do what, just write comma and you can inherit from that also. So multiple inheritance means that one class is inheriting from multiple classes. Okay, now multiple is not means only two classes. Multiple means two, three, four, five, whatever. Okay, so yeah, so I hope you have understood. So now we'll move to the next inheritance, that is multi-level. That is called as multi-level inheritance. Okay. Now in multi-level inheritance, what happens now? Um, let's say you have A. So A will inherit from means B will inherit from B, A, and then you have C. So C will inherit from B. So it goes on a level. C inherits B, okay, and B inherits A. So when C inherits B, so B is already inheriting A. So C can directly access A. Yeah, that is the thing. Okay, that is the thing. So let me just do what? I have a very beautiful example which I have told you in the starting of the class about the house. Okay, Shouldn't it single multi-level hierarchical inheritance? Yes, brother. If child has his own skills also, so how we add in skills only? If child has his own skills, okay, so like this you said, and you have to add in this skills only. So then what you have to do, then you have to use the concept of method overriding, because if you are inheriting like this, okay, like this, okay, so then you have to use super. So if you do like this, then only it will call it from the father and the mother. Otherwise, it is a topic of method overriding. So that's why I'm not coming to this. Okay, I understand your problem. You will get your solution. Just wait for a few couple of minutes, just for more 10 or 20 minutes, and then I'll come to that part and I'll explain your problem. Okay, so just keep patience. Okay, this is also a very important topic. You need to understand this also, and then we'll come to that and I'll talk on that particular topic. Don't worry, I will come on that topic. Okay, I totally get your problem. Okay, curiosity happens. Okay, so yeah, it's there. And when curiosity is there, it means you are learning. So I totally appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, just have patience, I'll come to that part. So we were talking about the multi-level inheritance. Okay, so in multi-level inheritance, class C inherits class B, class B inherits class A. So in that manner, C can use directly the properties of A. Yeah, that is possible. And I'll tell you that by showing you the house example. I told you, your grandfather have a house, he built a house. Now that house comes to your father, and then that house will come to you. So let's create that. Okay. So let me just do what class, and I'll create a grandfather class. Okay, class grandfather. Grandfather built a house. Grandfather built a house, and let me just print that grandfather owns a house or built a house. You can write built a house also. Okay, then comes your father. Now your father also lived in that house, and after your grandparent, the house will be of your father only. So you'll write grandfather. Okay, your father is inheriting grandfather. Okay, then comes the son. Okay, then comes the son or the daughter. Okay, and son and daughter is inheriting from the father. Okay, is inheriting from the father class, and pass. Now I'll do what? In order to I'll create object for the son class, and like this. Now the son is directly able to use that house method. How? Like this. And you owns a house. Okay, so in this way, now you will see there is a level by level we are inheriting. It's not like that the son class is directly inheriting grandfather. No, actually it can do also, but no need, because if the son class is inheriting the father class and the father class is inheriting the grandfather class, so the son class can directly access this house. Okay, because whatever is of the son means whatever there is of father, that is belongs to the son, and what is of the grandfather, that belongs to the father. So indirectly, what is of the grandfather, that also belongs to the son. Okay. Oh, I'm not aware. Okay, sir. No, it's okay, it's fine. Master Tech Automotive, sir, we are going to get our real names on the certificate. Yes, you are going to get the real names on the certificate. Means see, I'll provide you the Google form. In that you have to fill everything: name, email, and rest of the other details, whatever it will require. Okay. So according whatever name you will give, that name will come to your certificate. It's like that. Okay. It's like that. So don't worry. So yeah, grandfather, father, and son is there. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's nice. So this is multi-level inheritance. Because why it is multi-level? Because level by level we are doing inheritance. So that's why it is called as multi-level. Okay. Then there is one more inheritance, that is hierarchical. That is hierarchical inheritance. Okay. Now, hierarchical inheritance, I would say that it is just the opposite of the multiple inheritance. In the multiple inheritance, what was happening, that Uh, there was one class which was inheriting from two classes. Okay, in hierarchical, what happens? There will be one class, okay, and that class will be inherited by multiple classes. Okay, so it's like that. Okay, just like you have the animal class. Okay, you have the animal class, and now this animal class, okay, from this animal class there is one dog class, and then one there will be cat class. Okay, so from one class you can inherit to two different classes. That is called as hierarchical class inheritance. Okay, a beautiful example of this is, I'll take this one. Okay, this animal one, I'll copy it. I will paste it over here. Okay, and I'll create one more class, and that class will be class cat, and this cat class will be also inheriting from the animal only. Okay, and it will also have nothing of its own. And then you can do what? You can create an object of the cat class also. Okay, and you can call the eat method using the cat object and using the dog object both. Okay, and both time you will get animal is eating and animal is eating. Okay, so this is the best example of the uh, hierarchical inheritance, in which there is one base class, means there is one parent class, and then there are two child classes, and both the childs is inheriting from the parent only, from the parent class only. Okay, so like there is dog class and cat class, these two are the child classes, and they both are inheriting from the animal class only, and both are using the same method, that is eat, that animals eat. Okay, so like that. Okay, so this was the concept of inheritance, and this was all the types of inheritance present in Python. There is one more type, that is hybrid inheritance. Now, in hybrid inheritance, I'll not show you an example because there is no specific example of showing hybrid inheritance. But what happens in hybrid inheritance, I will tell you. Okay, in hybrid inheritance, any class, suppose you have three classes, so any class can inherit any class. There is no way, there is no structure, nothing at all. Okay, um there could be one class that is not inheriting also, there could be multiple classes that is inheriting one class, there could be one class that is inheriting all the classes. So there is no proper way of showing a hybrid inheritance. So hybrid, the name hybrid only means what? Anything. Okay, it is just the combination of all the inheritance. So the combination of all the inheritance is called as what is called as the hybrid inheritance. Okay, so there is no specific example of hybrid inheritance. This is also an example of hybrid inheritance, and every inheritance is an example of hybrid inheritance. So, what you say? So Master Tech Automotive saying, sir, I think you have to tell so people that you have to, sir, I think you have to tell to people that you have to import the class that you want to inherit from, if those classes are in another file or directory. So that I have shown you na, in the import part, that how you can create your own module, how you can keep your own functions and classes, and how you can import it. Okay, I guess you are not present in this, you have not attended that particular session. Okay, the next topic, now this was all about the inheritance, guys. Okay, what will be a real practical example in our daily lives, the use of inheritance in Python? um, the best example is about your, look at your parents. You must have something common with your parents. Okay, maybe your hair, maybe your hairstyle, maybe your looks, maybe your eyes, maybe your nose, ears, or maybe your behavior, maybe your talking style, maybe your walking style. Something will be common with your parents, so that is the best example of inheritance, that you have inherited few properties, few methods. Means in real life, if I have to say, a hobby or a skill from your parent. That is the best example of inheritance in Python in real practical life. Okay. Now the next topic is, guys, polymorphism. Okay. Now this is also a very beautiful topic. Polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Okay. Anyone of you have heard this word polymorphism before? Okay. Or anyone knows the meaning of this word polymorphism? Anyone? Okay. Let me just tell you. Poly means many and morphism means forms. So together, together this polymorphism means many forms. Okay. So together this polymorphism words, okay, if I'll break it, so poly means many and morphism means forms. So anything which has many forms, that is called as polymorphism. Okay. And in Python and in OOPS, this concept comes with the same method names. Okay. So when you have same method names but behavior is different, so method names are same, the same method name behaves differently depending on the objects. Okay. So that is when you will say that you have achieved polymorphism. That means the names are same, but it is achieving differently. It's doing it tasks differently depending on the different objects. I'll show you a beautiful example of this, then it will be more clear. Okay. So let me just show you. Okay. I'll create a class. Okay, many forms, different form of a thing. Yeah, yeah. So what example should I take? I should take the Okay, I can take this example, the dog cat example. This is a good example. So I'll just copy it. I'll paste it over here. Okay. I don't need to inherit anything. Okay. I want separately and I'll create two methods. Okay. Coding coding is asking one question. Sir, can you please give me which enterprise context class and inheritance are used? There are so many e-commerce in e-commerce, banking. So there are many sectors, okay, many sectors where this concept inheritance and class is used. Okay. Uh, Suppose if there is a management system like employee management system, hospital management system, so everywhere this is used. Okay. Like in banking, you have account. Okay. So you can have multiple accounts also, no? So account means what? Account means a person is having an account. Okay. Now what type of account? So it can be a saving account, current account. So saving and means account can be a parent class, and saving account and current account can be the child classes. Okay. So there are many contexts. Okay. It's not like that. In e-commerce, there is a product. Now that product will have a name, it will have a category. So product is the parent class, and electronics will be one of the child classes. Clothing will be one of the child classes. So furniture, many things are there. Okay. Okay. I have a class dog, and now I will show you one thing. Okay. Self, and I'll print. Dog does what? Dog bark. Okay. Dogs bark. Okay. Then I'll do what? I'll create one more method in, and the method name will be same. Okay. Method name will be same. Okay. Method name is self only. But this time cat does cat makes which kind of sound? Cat makes meow. Okay. Meow. That's good. That's good. Let's do what? Now let's create two objects. One for the dog class and one for the cat class. Okay, and dog dot sound and cat object dot sound, and you will see bark and mew. It means what we are getting here. Okay, both the classes have a sound method, but the behavior is different. Okay, both the classes have the same sound method, but the behavior is same. Okay, so this is called as polymorphism, that the method name is same but they behaves differently depending on the objects. If I call the same sound method, means the name is same, so if I call the sound method with a dog object, it gives bark. If I call the sound method with cat object, so it gives me mew. Okay, so this is polymorphism. This is the example of a polymorphism. Now in polymorphism only there comes a concept called as method overriding, because now we are not overriding any method. Both the sound method works differently for different objects. Okay, now there is a concept of method overriding. Okay, so now I'll show you that. Okay, now I'll show you that. So for that I'll do what? I'll just copy this example, although uh, I'll change this. Okay, I'll remove this. I'll remove this part. Okay, so I'll keep only this part. And now I'll do what? I'll create one more class. Okay, so class animal. Okay, class animal. And this class has also one method called as sound. Okay, this class also has one method called as sound, but in this it makes animal sound. Okay, so in this it's not specific to which animal sound. Okay, but okay, so here in the dog class, now the dog class is inheriting the animal class. Okay, so now the dog class um is inheriting the animal class. Okay, and I've created the object of the dog class and sound dog dot sound. So it will only give me bark, and that's correct also. Okay, that's correct also, because we are calling the object of dog. So why it should give us animal sound? It will obviously give me bark only if we are inheriting also then. But wait, now using, there is one function. Okay, there is one function. Using that you can do what? Using that you can call both the methods. You can call both the methods by just calling the sound. By just calling one sound, you can call this sound also and you can call this sound also. So what is the method? So in the chat, in the starting of the session in the chat, someone has written super. Yes, so the method is, the function is super function, and the use of the super function is that it is used to call the parent class methods. Okay, so it is used to call the parent class methods. So this is one example, okay, of method overriding. In this method completely overrides this method, but if you create a object of animal class, so then you can access this one. But what if using the dog object, using the object of dog class, I want to access this also and this also? So let's do that. Let's do that. So for that I'll do what? I'll copy it and I'll write here using super. Okay, using super, and I'll write what is the use of super. So super calls the parent class. Super calls the parent class method. Okay, and I'll copy the same example, but now I'll do what? Inside this method sound, which is present inside the dog class, I'll write like this: super dot sound. Okay, so I am calling the sound method of animal class. Okay, of animal class, using this super, because this super function is used to call the parent class methods. Okay, so this super means that I'm calling this animal, this parent class. Which is my parent class? Dog is inheriting animal, so animal is my parent class, so I'm calling this sound method which is present in my parent class. So super is used for that, and now everything will remain same. Dog method is there, I'm calling the single sound. Okay, when I'll execute, now you'll see animal sound, bark. Okay, so I'm getting both. So this is called as method overriding. So what I'm doing, I'm just overriding there was already a sound method, but I overrided the sound method and I executed, means I called this sound method in this here, and I have something of my own also. Okay, so by calling the sound method, what happens, by when you call the sound method, this sound method is triggered. When this sound method is triggered, it comes to this line. When this line is triggered and this sound method is called, it directly goes here. Then this sound method is called and this line is executed. Then again the command is come to this line, next line. Then bark is printed. That's why you get animal sound and bark. When I'll change this and I'll make it like this. So now first you will get bark and then you will get animal sound, because first you are printing bark and then you are calling the sound method which is present here. Okay, so this is also one thing. So this is how this works. So this is called as polymorphism. Polymorphism means methods have same name but different behavior based on the object. And this is the example of method overriding. So let me just write here. I'll write, okay, this one, yeah, this one, method overriding. It means you're overriding the method. Okay, so this is method overriding, and this is method overriding using super. Okay, got it? Now let's go back. Let's go to the new topic. Let's go to the new topic, that is encapsulation. Okay, so the next topic is, guys, encapsulation. What is encapsulation? Let's talk about that. But before that, let me see my chat. Okay, can you please tell me another example of polymorphism? Yes, brother, I have told you. You can see it. Do Python have factory functions like ES6? Uh, yeah, something like that. Yes, Master Tech Automotive. Yes, Python supports the factory functions. Okay, so you can use them, but it's quite means it will be little complex in writing. Means you have to again use the uh, means first you will create a class, you will keep some methods, and then you will create one function, and inside that function you will take the same inputs, and then you will call the class in them. So there are little bit means I will show you, but let's see if it is in the syllabus. Okay, if it is not in the syllabus, then I will create a separate video for this. Okay, don't worry, and I'll upload it on the YouTube and I'll share in the all the platforms. Okay. Uh, Missed because of net issues. It's okay, brother. You can just rewatch it. Okay, you can just go back and then start, or let's watch the live only. Then you can, after the live is finished, you can again watch it. Please, how can I start? What you want to start, brother? Matthias to do. Please, how can I start? What you want to start? Sir, please can you retake polymorphism part? Yes, brother. Okay. If you have not understood, so see. First of all, polymorphism means, poly means many, morphism means forms. Okay. And what happens? It clearly means that the the methods will have same name, but the behavior will be different based on the objects. Okay, so you can see the first example. You have one class called as dog, which has sound, which has bark in it. Then you have another class called as cat. Again, method name is same sound, but it prints meow. Now when you'll create the object of dog and cat class separately, and you'll print using those objects, if you'll call the same sound method, you will get different outputs. So this shows that the method name is same, but based on the objects the behavior is different. Then in polymorphism only, there is a concept called as method overriding, in which we override the method. Okay, it means already there is a method with that name, but we override the method. Okay, and this is done by inheritance. Okay, so there is an animal method, and in that animal method there is a function, there is a method called as sound, in which there is animal sound. I'm just printing animal sound. Then I have a dog class. That dog class inherit the animal class. Now again I have created a sound. Now this sound overrides this sound. Why? Because already there was sound, and because I have inherited it, so I'm overriding that sound. So now when I'll call the object of dog and I'll call dog.sound, so this sound will work. Okay. Then there is one more approach in this. That approach is, if you want to execute this sound also and this sound also, then what you will do, but using the same object, the object of the child class only, then there is a concept called as method overriding using super. Okay, so super is a function that is used to call the parent class methods. Okay, so again, the same example is there, but this time this line is get added, super dot sound. Okay, now this line will do what? Whenever I'll call the sound method using the object of the dog class, first the it will come, the command will come to here. Then it has super dot sound. It means then the command will be shift to this, and then this part will be executed, animal sound. So you can see there is animal sound. Then this line will be, then again command from here, it will come to the second line, print back, then it will print back. Okay, so this is the polymorphism. Okay, I hope you have understood. Now let's move to the next topic, that is encapsulation. Is there any WhatsApp group created for this purpose? Yes, brother. For this bootcamp, there is a WhatsApp group. You can join it. For joining it, anyone can share the syllabus link. Please share in the group. Now we'll talk about encapsulation. Okay, is a bit confusion the polymorphism? Yes, bro. I've already explained it. Okay, encapsulation, guys. Let's talk about encapsulation. What is encapsulation? Encapsulation means binding the data and the methods together inside a class while restricting the direct access to a certain data. Okay, while restricting the access to certain datas. Okay, so first of all, encapsulation means that you have now inside, if there is a class, say in the class, what are the possible things which you can keep? You can keep your data, you can keep methods. Okay, these are the two things which you can keep inside a class. Now binding those two things together, okay, and restricting the direct access to certain data. Okay, so suppose if you have data and methods both, and restricting the use of certain data. Okay, so that is called as encapsulation. Okay, and Python uses naming conventions for access control. Now encapsulation in Python is not strictly followed. Okay, encapsulation is strictly followed in Java, it is strictly followed in C++, but in Python it is not strictly followed. So there are few techniques in which you can access the data. I'll show you that also. So let's talk about that. So if you guys want a definition, I'll write it, that encapsulation means binding data and methods together inside a class while restricting direct access to certain data. Okay, so this is the definition of encapsulation. Okay, now there are few ways, few attributes you can say, using which you can apply this encapsulation, and you can apply the um, uh, restriction to access the direct data. Okay, let me show you how. So first there is called as the public attribute. Okay, public attribute. Now anyone of who is from a programming background and who have seen Java or C++ programming language, so they will totally understand what I'm talking about. But anyone means if no one is there, or if anyone who don't know about it, so don't worry, I'll teach you in very basic. So just pay attention and uh, just be focused. Okay. So there is something called as public attribute. Public attribute means that it is accessible from anywhere. Okay, accessible from anywhere. Okay. So how it will look like? So let me create an example. If there is suppose class called as a student, I'll create a constructor self like this, self dot name equals to, let's say, Rohit. Okay. Now I'll create the object student equals to student. Okay. Student equals to student. And now I can directly use it, okay, using an object student dot name. So I'll get Rohit. It means I can directly access it using the object. This name, I can directly access it using the object. So it means it is accessible from anywhere. Now, if I can use it in a method, obviously I can use it, but using the object also, I can use it. So this is public attribute. Now, the next attribute is protected. Okay, the next attribute is protected. In protected, what happens that a protected attributes start with a single underscore. So whenever you have to create a protected attribute, so you have to use a single underscore before giving the name. And the single underscore, it is a convention, okay, which indicates that the attribute is intended for internal use. So don't use it directly, okay. So the same example, let me just take the same example. Now the name is public, but there could be one, let's say, marks. Now marks is something which everyone don't want to show to everyone, okay. They want that the marks can be seen by parents, by brothers, sisters, or by themselves, but they don't want that marks should be seen by everyone, okay. So 90, okay. Then I'll do what, marks. So I'll get 90, okay. But you will see that it is accessible. Yes, it will be accessible. Why? Because it is not that much strict. It is, I've already told you, no, it is just a convention. Convention means it is just a way of showing, indicating that this attribute is intended for internal use only. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, then there is one, next one is a private attribute. Okay, next one is private attribute. Now in private attribute starts with two underscore, okay, and there is way of accessing it. So Python uses name mangling to make accidental access more difficult. I'll show you the example of the private attribute, then it will be more clear to you. So I'll just paste the same example. Okay, here let's say salary. Salary is something which anyone does not wants to reveal. Okay, so let's say my salary is 5 lakhs. Okay, and I don't want that anyone should be able to access it. So let's see if I'll be able to access it or not. Okay, so when I'll do it, you will see I will get an error. Okay, attribute error, a student object has no attribute salary. Okay, so when you try to access a private attribute directly using an object, so it will say that this attribute does not exist, but actually this attribute is there. This attribute is present, but you are hiding it. Okay, so that's why this gives us an error. Okay, when I'll remove this, it will not give me any error. Okay, but there is way of accessing it. What are those ways? Those ways are, you can access it using a method, okay, or you can access it using the class name. Okay, so if I just directly access it like this, there is a way. If I remember student salary, no, there is one way, main, I guess, but okay, leave that way. I'll show you one another way. Okay, using that it will be more easy. So you can create a method. How you can create a method? Like this, def get salary, okay, self, and then what you can do is return self dot underscore underscore salary, okay, a student, and then you will do what, print, and using the now object student, you can call the method get salary, and then it will be called. So now you'll see it prints 5 lakh. So you can access it, but you can access through a method, not directly. You cannot access it directly, but through a method you can access it. Narayan Swami syllabus link. Oh, no one has the syllabus. Okay, I'll share it. I have to find it where I keep it. So it will take some time. Wait. Mm, Okay, guys, check the chat. I have shared you. I have shared you. You guys can go and check it. Dipanshu Sharma, what happened, brother? Okay, I pinned a message. You guys can go and check the syllabus link. In the syllabus link, there is, uh, sir, why you are using underscore in front of marks attribute? To indicate it is a convention, to indicate that it is a protected attribute. Okay, so that no one should use. If you show your, if you have created a private attribute and you'll show it to a different Python developer, no, so he will understand. Okay, those who knows, they will understand that it is just a convention, it will be used. But yeah, that's the thing, it is like that only I told you, no, that encapsulation is not that much effect effectable in Python. But in private you cannot directly access it. So if you want to access a private attribute, you need to go use through a method. Okay, you need to go through a method. Yes, yes. If you created a private attribute, you cannot access it directly. So you have to create a method for that. Okay. And if you have to access, tell me, if you have to access a private variable, why you will create it a private variable? Private is created for data hiding. So why you will create a method? Or if you create a method for accessing a private variable, so why there is a need of creating a private variable? Then create a normal attribute, no? They are called as magic functions. Okay, they are called as magic function. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. That is the last topic of our class. Okay, before that, we have two more topics left, and the topic name is abstraction. So we'll quickly see this also. Okay, we'll quickly give a look at abstraction. Abstraction is nothing. It is it is directly not accessible. It is used by a abstract based class module. So from that you have to use it. Okay, that is what, no, I'm saying. If anyone can access it using methods, what's the use of creating it? But who will access it? Who knows coding? Who knows coding? You are not going to suppose if you are developing let's say you are developing an app. Okay, let's say you are developing an e-commerce website, and the backend you are creating using Python. Okay, so you tell me the user will use your code, or it will he or she will use your application? User will use your application, no? So what is the user is not going to see your code. Code will be with you only. So who is going to come to create a method to use your private variable? Private variable you create it because you want to store some secret keys or something, some secret message, like that kind of thing. Okay, so it remains inside the code, but no one can use it, like that. Some private thing. Okay, like that. Mostly for secret key and all, for that only it is created. Okay, now let's talk about abstraction, guys. Now, abstraction is not directly supported in Python. Okay. First of all, what is abstraction? Abstraction means hiding the implementation details. Okay. So, abstraction means that hiding the implementation, means at the time of implementation, whatever the details are there that you want to hide. Okay. And exposing what? Exposing only the essential, only the essential functionality. That is called as abstraction. Okay, so that is a good example of abstraction. And in Python, when you use, means when you provide abstraction, so you have to use the ABC module. Okay, ABC module means abstract class, abstract base class, abstract base class module. Okay, so whenever you have to use abstraction, you will need to use that. Okay, so I'll show you a very good example of abstraction. From ABC, import ABC, abstract base class, and abstract method. Okay, abstract method. And now I'll do what? I'll create a class called as vehicle, and in this I'll inherit ABC, abstract class. Then I'll use this abstract method, and I'll create a method to start a vehicle, and I'll keep it empty. So implementation I have done it. Implementation I have created it. Now I'll create one more class called as car, which will inherit this vehicle class. Okay. And in this also, now you have to implement the start class. Okay. But with different implementation. Let's say you can use the same method, but let's say you will say car started, but you will keep something different. You cannot keep it empty. Car, then you will create an object of car and you will say car dot start. So, okay, I'm getting, okay, I've written the name incorrect, I guess. So car started. Now you guys will ask, sir, what is the use of this abstraction? Okay. See, there is use, but in the basics, there is no use. First of all, it is used to hide unnecessary, uh, unnecessary details which you don't want to reveal. Okay. So that details you can hide it. And after that, it provides a common interface. Okay. It provides a common interface. So that is also important. Make code easier. Okay, now these are the simplest thing that it does make code easier to extend. Okay, so this is there. Now what will happen if I have created an abstract method? Okay, and I'll not create a method over here. Okay, I'll not create a method over here. I'll not create it. Then what should happen? So let me just give pass. Okay, let me just give pass and let me see. So now you'll get a type error. Okay, now you'll get a type error. Can't initiate abstract class car without an implementation for abstract car method start. Okay, means it says when you create a abstract method, no, it says that if you inherited this vehicle class, so now you have to create a def start method. You cannot leave it empty. You have to create an a start method. Okay, so that is necessary. You have to create it, only it will work. If you will not create it, so it will not work. So creating an abstract method makes it, suppose if you have multiple, means you have many classes, and all the classes is is compulsory to keep this function called as a start. Suppose you have a vehicle class. Now this vehicle class has a function called method called as start. Now there is a car, then there will be a bike, okay, then there will be a monster truck. Now all these vehicles are of different kinds, but they must need to have this method called as start. Now this method start is what? This is an action, so they must start. Okay, that's why it is important. So now I hope you guys have understood the abstraction. Okay, so now when you guys have understood abstractions, so now we'll talk about you guys your favorite topic, that is about the magic methods. Okay, so now we'll see the magic methods. So let's talk about the magic methods now. First of all, what are magic methods? Okay, so magic methods are also called the Dunder methods because they begin and end with the double underscores. Okay, and they are also called as the special methods, just like the init, underscore underscore init underscore underscore. It means, what is init? It is a constructor, but in the definition I have told you, it is a special method also. Okay, that Python calls automatically for certain operations, and these special methods you don't need to call it. They are automatically called when the object is created. Okay, or if they are for certain operations, so they automatically do it. You don't need to do it. Okay, so there are few magic methods which we'll see today. Okay, so let's start with our very own. Okay, that is init. Okay, there are many chats. Sir, why you are giving underscore in front of marks? Okay, that I've explained already. Yeah. Guys, at what time class started? I was not getting video. The live session was started at 6:35. 6:35 p.m. according to IST, Indian Standard Time. Peter, what protected mean here? Sir, protected means is just a convention which indicates that this variable is should be used by only internal. Okay, only internal methods. It should not be used by any out means external factors like objects. Objects should not use it. Only method can use it. Okay, it means that. Shivam Raj official. Hi, hello brother. Beauty's help. Okay, 6:30. Yeah. Okay, you're replying to me now. Narayan Swami, process of hiding a detail. Yeah, yes. No, sir, not understood abstraction. Okay, not understood abstraction. Uh, First of all, again, I'll give you an example. Let me think of an example. Okay, yeah, I got an example. Okay, suppose you are in school or you are in college. So there are multiple students in your class. Now, let's suppose your professor asked all of the students in your class that tomorrow you guys have to do the assignment and that is compulsory. Okay, so what you guys will do? You guys will simply do the assignment and bring it out and come to the department or come to the class by taking out the assignments. You guys will do that. Okay, so that is compulsorily important that you guys will do it only. If anyone, if you not do it, then the professor will deduct 5 marks from each of one of you, means each one of the students internal. Okay, it means that is mandatory. If you guys, if any one of you will not do that, then there will be an error, and that error is that 5 marks will be deducted. Okay, so then you will do what? Then you will create an abstract method like this. Then you will create an abstract method like this, and you will say complete assignment. Okay, and that assignment now it is mandatory for everyone, okay, to do the assignment. In the same way in programming, in Python, in object oriented programming, there is an abstract method. Abstract method does what? Once you create a method as an abstract method, so all the classes like car class, like let's create one more class, def def bike. Okay, def bike, and this bike class will inherit all, it will also inherit the vehicle class. Okay, like this, it will also inherit the vehicle class like this. And then let's say you don't give the start method in this. Okay, you don't give the start method in this, and you just created um, bike equals to bike. Now you will see it will give you an error, a type error, that bike missing one required positional argument vehicle. So what does it mean? It means that you have to create a start method here. Okay, that is important. That is one thing which you have to do it only. You cannot leave it. Okay, so that is to make it compulsory. This is there. Okay, the abstract method, so that it gives a by default interface it will give to all the other classes which is going to inherit the vehicle class. Okay, are you getting a point? So this is the use of it. Okay, caster classes have give us has uh, give a super chat, okay, of 20 rupees. Thank you so much, caster classes. A big shout out to you, brother. Okay, it's really means a lot that you are helping it, and thank you so much. So that is abstraction. Okay, now we'll talk about few of the magic methods and then we'll end the class. So first init method is, now you guys already know it, that is init. It is a special method. So let's see a quick example of this. Okay, so let's say you have class student and you have this method called as init. So you will write like this, self, let's take one parameter also, and you will say what, self dot name equals to name. And then when you will call the student, when you create a method, so you need to give a value here, let's say Rohit, like this. Okay, so this is the init method. What happens when you use the init method? It is called automatically when the object is created. So when you create the object, this method gets called automatically. Okay, so this is the use of the init method. Okay, so I'll write it, called automatically when an object is created. Okay, let's go to the next magic method. The next magic method is very useful, that is underscore underscore str underscore. Okay, this one. Now this method or this magic method is used to controls what is displayed. Okay, what is displayed when an object is created or when an object is printed. Okay, when an object is printed, so what should be displayed? So for this I'll do what, no, I'll take the same example, I'll use it. Okay, but I'll create one new method here, def underscore underscore str underscore underscore self, like this, and I'll return here a f string where I will say student name equals to self dot name. That's it. Okay, and when I'll try to print the student, no, so you will see when I'll try to print the student, the object, it will give me this name Rohit, student name Rohit. So this is because of this method. Okay, this method does what? It controls what is displayed when an object is printed. Okay, so this was str, this was the str magic method. It is also a special method. Then there is one more special method, that is underscore underscore length underscore underscore this. This is used to this magic method is used to return the length of an object. Okay, the length of an object. So for this, what you can do is okay, let me show you. Um, let's say let's create a class called as book. Okay, then I'll create a init constructor in it, self dot title equals to title, and I need to take a title parameter also, so I'll take it, and then I'll say def len. Okay, def len self. Okay, then I'll return the length of self dot title. Then I'll return the length of self dot title. Okay, that's it. Then I'll do what? Then I'll create the object. Okay, so let's create the object like this. Okay, it takes one parameter, so let's give Python. And now when I'll print the length of my object book, it will give me 6. Okay, because in Python there is 6. So when I'll print the length of my object, it will give me 6. Okay, or whatever, let's say um, Python for beginners, so it will give me 20. So total length will be 20, so it will give me 20. So this is the length magic method. Then these all magic methods are related to object, so everything it will do it on the object only. Okay, then there is a magic method called as add. Now this defines the behavior of the plus operator. So this method means that it defines the behavior of the operator plus. So how to use it? Let me show you. Okay, you guys are going to like it. Def init. What you can do, self value. Okay, self dot value equals to value. Okay, that's it. Now what you will do, you'll create one more method called as add self. Okay, and you will take one more value called as other. Okay, now you will return what you will return. You will return self dot value plus self dot other. Oh, sorry, not other, value only. Okay, self dot value plus self dot value. Now you'll create two objects, okay, of this class number, and in both let's say give 10, then let's give n2 equals to number 20. Okay, now you can do like this, you can just do like this, n1 plus n2 means you can add both the objects and it will give you okay, it gives 20. Why it gives 20? N1 plus n2, it should give 30. I've done a mistake. Yes, I have to write other dot value. I just wrote self dot value. Now it gives us 30. Okay, so I have to use this other dot value, so 30. Okay, so this is how you can perform the addition between the objects using this. Okay, so yeah, this is also one of the magic operators. Then at last there is one more magic operator. Now this was I have included because someone has asked me in the chat for this. Okay, this is equal. Okay, this equality, so this defines how this equal compares two objects. Okay, how it compares two objects, it depicts that, it defines that. So let's say I have class, let me create a class student. Okay, and I'll say def init self, then there is age. Okay, self dot age equals to age, then I'll say def equals to this self other, like this. Okay, and I'll just simply return, I'll return what? I'll return self dot age equals to other dot age. Okay, and then that's it. I'll create one s1 student 1 with what age? With 20 age, let's say. Then I'll create s2 with again student with 20 age, and then I'll compare between these two objects, s1 equals to s2, and you will get true. Okay, if I'll change it to 22, so you will obviously get false. So this is the equality. This defines the equality operator. Okay, so it compares between two objects. So these were few of the magic methods which is used in Python. Okay, and this is how you're going to use it. So these were all the topics of this particular day 11, which we all have, means all the topics I have covered. And I hope you guys have understood the use cases. Okay, and they are very good, but see, most of the things you don't use it. Okay, there are other ways of doing this also, so it's not compulsory you do it in this. And for the basics, you just need to know the main features of oops that you have already know. These magic methods are the special properties of the Python, so if you understand it, that's very well good. Okay, so yeah, that was that was all for this particular day. Okay, and we'll keep this much only for this particular session. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for making this session so much engageful. Okay, continuously chatting with me, letting not me bored. Okay, or else I get bored also. So thank you so much for that. Okay, and yeah, that's the thing. I am Ganesh. Why can't you share this Jupyter notebook in group? I asked yesterday too. Brother, I've shared it to my team. My team works on this. Okay, so uh, they are planning something. They are trying to put it somewhere, and you guys can download it from there. Okay, so that's the case. They are planning something. So because I can't tell you about that, but I have already notified them that you guys were asking. So they will give you. Okay, don't worry. They will provide you. Maybe they will provide. Means they will be thinking that to provide all the days notebooks together. Okay, so that can also happen. Okay, because providing it day by day, I don't think that it will be possible. So I guess they are waiting to finish this bootcamp, and after this bootcamp will be finished, they will just give you a repo only. In that repo there will be everything related to this bootcamp, so you guys can access it anytime. So maybe they are, I guess, means they have told me they are thinking like this. Okay, Meena Deshpande, you are going very fast because the topics were very fast. Any one of them, if you are not understood, I can re-explain it, because nothing is there. Everything now you know only. You just know how to means what are the use cases of, suppose if there is str, so you should just know what is the use case of this. So it just, now I have told you that I've written here controls what is displayed when an object is printed. Okay, so this is how you are going to use it. Okay, so when you print an object, this message will be printed. Suppose there is length. Okay, so length gives you the length of the object, means of the parameter which you will provide. So at the object creation, you are putting something, some value. If you check the length of your object, it will give you that. Okay, then there is add. Add is basically, it defines the behavior of the plus arithmetic operator. Okay, addition. So it will do what? Class number init. Now in add, you are adding self dot value and other dot value. Okay, so if you are creating two different objects of different numbers, and you are just doing what? Print n1 plus n2, you will get the addition of them. Okay, then there is this equality one. This defines how you depict the equality operator. So it compares between two objects. If two objects are same, so it will give you true, otherwise it will give you false. So that is also there. Okay, so this is self dot age equals to other dot age. It's just like the addition one. Okay, and just create two objects and just check the equality. Abdul Malik Muhammad, thank you everyone. Okay, so let's keep this much only for this day, and in the next day we'll see you with a new topic, I guess file handling and exceptional handling. So we'll see and we'll talk about in depth. Okay, till then, take care, bye bye. Okay, Piyush Kumar signing off.